Another week, another part of new releases, and I don't know if you can tell the difference between last week's video and this week's video. Here we have now the new real view. This is now with the new lens that I talked about last week, and that is so much better. Absolutely like this. But enough of the camera nerdy stuff. I just wanna say again, I had to buy a new camera, new lenses, because my old one broke. So if you want to support me and make sure that I'm able to refinance this quite high purchase, watch the videos constantly and let the ads work, because that way we can refinance this investment. Otherwise, if you want to support me and the channel and future investments here, then you can also join the YouTube membership. Oh my god, did I just say YouTube membership? Yeah, join the YouTube membership. That starts, I think, at $1 or so. And I also have a Patreon link down below. Thank you so much to everybody who does this. And now let's move on to the releases. But at first, I want to talk about a rebrand that we have seen last week, and that is Lethal Cosmetics. Oh boy. Honestly, all the signs were showing it already, but for me, this is the proof that they completely lost the plot. They made this big announcement of, yeah, we're doing a rebrand and blah, 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 back to the roots, back to what we love. And then what did we get? We get generic designs, a very ugly logo. Honestly, I like the last one so much better. And now it's just obvious. When you go to the website of Lethal Cosmetics, nothing is made in Germany anymore. They completely moved out that one. Although, no, I found one or two mattes in the singles that still had the made in Germany on them, although I'm not really sure if that will stay that way. But most of the singles are now also made in Poland and made in PRC. Don't get me wrong, I don't have a problem with that. Private label is absolutely normal in the industry. But the thing is, Lethal Cosmetics built their reputation, built their whole brand, their whole identity on this. Oh my god, we were just looking for something that was not on the market. We wanted to do something very special. And they had something special. They had it. They had that special formula. They had this specific design. So many people loved what they did, and they decided to sell all of that. So for me, that was the point now. Lethal Cosmetics to me is completely done. I do have some items, and I might repurchase one other item from them just as a backup, because I am such a big fan of the Dexter highlighter, the liquid one. If this is still in stock, I might pick this up, because this was already made in PRC. But eyeshadow wise, for me, the brand is now dead. I'm curious what you think about this. I know that they have a big rebranding video. Honestly, I don't have the mental capacities right now to watch the video. So if someone watched it and can summarize it in the comments, thank you so much. I will pin that comment so all the others don't have to watch it too. Now let's move on to the next brand that I thought is dead, and that is Odens Eye. We have a new holiday eyeshadow palette. This is the Ice Crystal palette, and what should I tell you? When I look at the palette, I see one side is a other or another version of Solomon 2, and the other side is just random bullshit. I don't know what it is with Odens Eye. They missed the mark completely, in my opinion, because their holiday palettes, Merry Christmas and Christmas Eve, I still have them, and you will see them in Elemis when we talk about Christmas palettes. I will use them for that, and I maybe use them again, because it became kind of a thing, because with the first Elemis intro I did this. I think in the second one I wanted, but I skipped it, but now the third one I might want to use them again, because they are just the best, perfectest two Christmas palettes on the market. But they will never reach that peak level. It's like with the gaming industry. When you are a new gaming studio and you are making that game, that is, the bar is so high. the expectations are so high, and it's hard to just meet these expectations. So I get that. But Odin's Eye completely ignored all the feedback, completely ignored comments, completely ignored trends and how the beauty world has evolved. So the only palettes that I still have from Odin's Eye are the 2 Christmas palettes, and I have the complete collection of the metallic and the multi-chrome singles that came out in 2024 or 3. I think that was 2024, and then there were also 12 of them in 2023, where Leon, for example, was part of that. This is the only thing that I still have from Odin's Eye. And I have to admit, from these singles, I haven't used all of them still. So some of these have been sitting here in my collection for over 2 years now, untouched. So that is a sign that my collection is way too big, but also a sign that I'm not that excited to put like effort into this, but I also don't want to get rid of them yet. But yeah, to me this palette looks like shit, and I just cannot believe that in 2025 there are still people who just hype this so much. Like, come on, let's be real. The Odin's Eye formula is not the worst. It's not the worst on the market, but there are so many better ones, and the color story is not that good either. So how about you? Will you get this? I for sure won't. Moving on to Carisa Janes. This is the founder of Hourglass, which I actually learned through this article, and Carisa Janes is bringing out a new makeup brand. This is, how is it called? The Outside In. In this launch, there will be a foundation, a silk serum foundation in 25 shades. Sounds like a good shade range to begin with. Then a matching brush to this and a Floral Reserve facial oil. When I read this, I was like, okay, that actually sounds good. And then, I mean, look at this foundation. It looks unique. Honestly, the thing is that this is quite expensive. Like, that's bold. You have to have some big, heavy cojones to launch a makeup brand where we are talking about $75 for the oil, $64 for the foundation, and $52 for the brush. I know that her name is like, she's not unknown or anything, but this is at the end a skincare infused clean beauty brand shit. That looks quite interesting, yes. I want to raise an eyebrow, and to quote here this post from Business of Beauty, the price tag of premium makeup often raises well-manicured eyebrows. Mine is too, but I can't on one side because I'm not able to do this. I don't know. It's... because I'm so icked by the clean beauty shit. But I do like the thought behind this. But on the other hand, Hourglass foundations were not that good. Really not. They were okay-ish, so it was not the strongest category, to be honest, with Hourglass. I am curious where this is going to lead. I want to know your thoughts. And what I also need your thoughts on is this. This is Refy. I have never used a thing from Refy, and the more stuff I see from them, the more I am just, okay, know why I don't use them. This is a duo that you can buy. They have the audacity to call this a ChromeDuo. Because do you know what this is? This is a clear. And honestly, this looks actually like a 2x2 centimeter big single eyeshadow packaging at the end. Chrome Cream Shimmer, it says here, and the Chrome Cream Gloss. This is basically a clear Vaseline type cream highlighter and a clear gloss. That's all. Wow. And then you have the audacity to call this chrome. That's a bold move. The post or the like advertisement pictures here, the promo pics with the models on, it's like the concentrated version of clean girl bullshit. because these girls in the pictures, they look beautiful, but they look like glazed donuts. This is this whole ick trend from Hailey Bieber. And I hate this, and I hate the full thing that it makes me feel like. Is Refy a brand that I am just judging the wrong way? Let me please know, is this the case? Maybe I am in the wrong here, but I need your thoughts. To me, this duo that costs $38 is a scam, because you get a Vaseline and a clear gloss. Just saying. Moving on to Tom Ford. And I'm very confused here by this overview. This is, according to Amit Beauty Talk, a first look at the Tom Ford 2026 eyeshadow quads. Are these all the quads that are going to be released in 2026? Do we get now overviews of the year schedule? Because if that is the case, this is a lot. I mean, these are 10 quads. Don't get me wrong, but isn't that a bit much for 1 year? 10 palettes, basically. I assume in 5 launches, but we do have a cream to powder formula with a tea on, with a brown tea on the case, and then a regular powder formula with a gold tea on the case. I do like that tea thing now. It is actually quite nice. But Tom Ford eyeshadows, the problem is they're so overpriced. I would pay €90 for a quad, and then you never know what you get, because either the formula is like shit or you get an amazing smooth one. The 3 quads that I have are amazing, but I'm way too afraid to try new ones. Plus, if I look at these, there is one quad that I would try, and it's the one in the center in the last row with the blue. That looks quite interesting. But on the other hand, I have so many eyeshadow palettes, it would be just a waste of money. What do you think? Let me know. I know I'm asking a lot of questions today. Next up, we have the re-release of Beauty Bay. So we're lowering the prices here. The demand was so high, and 3 years after its original release, the Beauty Bay Midnight palette is back in their new redesigned packaging. It's the 42 pan version that I also mentioned last week in my Beauty Bay ranking, and Midnight was quite high because it is just an amazing palette. I cannot quote myself word on word, but I think I said something like, this is like a night sky looking thing, and it's just so beautiful. I love the Midnight palette, and I highly recommend getting this. I know 42 shades is a lot, but you will find every single version of blue and purple in this palette in shimmer and matte that you will ever need in your life, and that for a good price. A link to Beauty Bay is down below. You know that the Beauty Bay formula is definitely worth the money, and it is just way too cheap for what they do. So that was not asking to raise the prices. I just want to say that compared to Tom Ford, for example, I much rather would have the Beauty Bay palettes. Then we have LH Cosmetics. Oh, LH Cosmetics, what's wrong with you? I feel like they are... On one hand, I love that they are doing whatever the fuck they want, and they shit on any trend. On the other side, I have the feeling that LH Cosmetics is missing out big times on the market because they released the most random shit ever. These are now single eyeshadows in single packaging. No one asked for this. No one needs this, and no one wants this, I assume, because of how saturated the market is in this specific category. They do have products that are so out of this world amazing, and you know, say it with me, these sparkle liquid eyeshadows, oh, they're so good. But then they release shit like this, and I'm like, what's wrong with you, LH? I recently tried their eye pencils, and they're as good as the Victoria Beckham ones. They are that good. So I highly recommend these crayons that they offer. But so much of their stuff is just random bullshit. So LH Cosmetics, get your shit together, because you're capable of being one of the best brands on the market. But not with releases like this. Maybe I'm wrong. Tell me, are you the targeted audience for single eyeshadows like this? let me know. And last but not least, we have Charlotte Tilbury, and we haven't talked about Charlotte in a while. She came out with a mystery box. Apparently it's heart-shaped, and from these shadows that we see here, you get definitely a magic cream. I think the longer one is a mascara, then an eyeshadow palette. This little round one, I think maybe is the cream blush that she has, the potted cream blushes. Then that tube thing could be a cleanser maybe, and of course a lipstick. I usually say that these mystery boxes are so not worth the money because you get basically random stuff. The thing with the Charlotte Tilbury mystery boxes though is, first of all, the price of the mystery box is usually 50% of the prices of the if you would buy these items as a single one. And I say it now, if you don't have a single Charlotte Tilbury product and you want to try out Charlotte Tilbury as a brand, I think these are a very, very good value. I used to buy one of the mystery summer boxes, I think it was last year, and the products were very well curated, but I had most of these and I tried most of these already, so I knew that this is not for me. But yeah, if you don't have a lot of Charlotte Tilbury stuff and you're interested, yes, I can recommend these. If you are a makeup collector like me and you have tried so much of Charlotte Tilbury, or maybe even have so much of Charlotte Tilbury, I think this is a waste of money. But I am affiliated with them, so if you want to try this, code and link and stuff is all down below. I don't know if you can get additional 15% with my code on this mystery box. Just try it out. Maybe you will have this. And maybe one other announcement before we end the video. You know that I am constantly recommending the Slayfire Cosmetics eyeshadows, especially the Across the Glitterverse palettes. These mini palettes are so good. And they now just started their sale, and the sale is running until next Monday. I think November 21st is end of the sale, and you can save up to 50% with them. I don't think my code will stack, but I will put the affiliate link and code on top. For the sale, you do not need an additional code. I just wanted to mention this. You know, usually I don't mention like sales extra, but I know that a lot of people, whenever I recommend Slayfire Cosmetics, they're commenting that they would love to try this, but the big palettes are way too expensive for them. So that is now your chance. They have up to 50% off, and I like that. They will, by the way, and that they teased that, I've just forgot to screenshot it, they teased a third version of the Glitterverse, and as soon as this drops, I will spend my money on this. Now we have that. That's all that I have saved. I am very happy that not a lot has happened in the release world, because let's be real, I do have next to me here on the window thing here my shame palettes. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 palettes of shame that I have to try. So assume or expect me to have in January a lot of reviews, because you know LMS is just around the corner. It will start in exactly 2 weeks from today on. I am so excited. 2 weeks? 3 weeks? Or 2 weeks? No, it's 2 weeks. It's actually 2 weeks. I have a lot of fun things prepped. Also, this week is also filled with very interesting reviews, so please make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out any of this. Thank you so much, and I'll see you hopefully very, very soon.